let's talk about safety and online marketing. So many people are very concerned about their safety, their personal privacy, and those things, and ask, how can I preserve that when I'm being an online marketer? Well, here's what I find. I find there's almost a pendulum swing. On one end, there's perfect safety. On the other end, there's what you've got to do to succeed as an online marketer. And in some ways, it's a pendulum that swings between those two. You can either be totally safe or you can be totally really good as an online marketer. Ideally, the place is sort of right in the middle. So when you're thinking about online safety and online marketing, I have discovered over the years that you can't be totally safe while being an online marketer. And this concept of being successful as an expert at the same time as you're trying to be totally safe is a little bit of a misnomer. It's tough to do both. So I yesterday had quite a conversation with somebody who was struggling with this. She feels like it's putting herself at risk. She feels like someone is going to stalk her, someone's going to come knock on her front door, someone's going to intrude into her life because of the things you've got to do to be able to succeed as an online marketer. And so we had quite a conversation, so I thought I'd share some of the things I shared with you. First one, number one, people are going to steal your stuff. The bigger and the better you get, the more people are going to steal your stuff. So there are ways to lock down a course and make it so that it's difficult for people to steal your content. Most of them become such a pain to the person who's consuming them that they're just not worth it. Here's what I discovered. The way I look at people stealing my content, I believe you should protect yourself, but don't obsess about this, because if you obsess, first off, there is no way to totally preserve the content that you put out. Someone can always steal it. And so don't obsess about it. Don't worry about it. In fact, the way I look at it is, hey, it's actually a little bit of an honor. Someone thinks that I'm good enough to steal. And then you just, don't be stupid. Do protect yourself, copyright your stuff, put it behind a password, those kinds of things. But don't try to get totally locked down, because the bad guys are going to find ways to get your stuff. That's the way it works. Secondly, in order to succeed as an online marketer, you got to do some social media personality work. And it's not just social media, hey, here's this tip on this. You actually have to start to show a little bit of your life. And what ends up happening is that the sharing that happens on social media is what makes you human. It's what makes you real. It's what makes people be attracted to you personally, because there's got lots of people that can buy the information that you sell. Why do they come to you? Oftentimes it's because they're attracted to you as a person. So you can't just shut yourself out of social media and not do anything in social media and never share anything about yourself in social media, because you don't get that attraction factor. It will negatively affect your sales. And what's going to end up probably happening is the bigger you get in online marketing, you're going to find that your audience is going to recognize you in weird places. Like, for example, it's somewhat rare for me to walk through an airport and not have somebody say, "You're Don Crowther? I love you." And I go, "I love you too. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad you love me," and have those conversations. Or just last week, I sat down at a table and there was a limited number of tables. And so someone came and sat down across from me and, "Hey, may I share your table?" Absolutely. I introduced myself. "You're Don Crowther. I bought your course 8 years ago, started my own company, and just sold it for $2.5 million last year. Thank you." And I said, "You're number 79 in terms of the millionaires that I've created." So I now know of creating 79 millionaires. And that was a wonderful lunch, just to have a chance to be recognized by somebody. He had to be recognized by my name because, hey, my hair's grayer now than it used to be. But that's what tends to happen. When you put out excellent content, people will recognize you and people will thank you as a result, rarely will they stalk you. That thanking you is almost one of the paydays that comes. But here's what I found. In all the years I've done this, I've never yet had anyone knock on my door. Now, I'm not inviting you to do so, but I don't worry too much about that. Now, I will caution you about one thing. There is a risk factor that increases the risk from this, and that is the more sexy you portray yourself in your copy, your images, the things you talk about and things like that, that does significantly increase your risk, because there are weirdos out there who think that you are pitching them to come and be a sexual partner with you. And so if the less sexy you can make yourself in this process. Now, I realize some of you teach on that subject. Good luck figuring out that balance. But for most of us, the less you can do that, the better off you'll be in terms of protecting yourself. Number 3, lock down your accounts. Here's what I mean by this. The bigger you are, the bigger your accounts are on social media, on email services and things like that, the more attractive you are as a target. And so people will come after you to try to get your social media account. Why? Not because you're a big shot, but because you got a big following who trusts you and who loves you and who wants to cut. And so they view that as a bigger target. And so the bigger you are, the more attractive, the more careful you have to be. And so I strongly suggest you do things like strong passwords, which means you cannot use the same password everywhere. Okay, you need strong passwords. You need to use 2-factor authentication. If you don't know what that means, go Google it. You need to understand what that means in today's world. Also, you need a password manager with a different 12-character nonsense T6 ampersand capital K N9, a password like that. A different one for every single site that you have, especially your email. Your email address is your weakest link in the entire phrase. Why? Because if people go into, once they've got your email password, they can go into any account anywhere and click forgot password. It'll send a password reset. They can go reset that password to whatever they want to, delete that email. You don't even know they did it, and they just stole your bank account. You've got to have strong passwords. You've got to be using a password program, especially for your email. And you got to learn how to protect yourself against phishing. Don't click 99% of all emails, of all links in emails. Don't even open emails from most people. So those 3 things will help you as you preserve your safety online. I strongly encourage you to think about that, but to hold things in moderation. So as I said, there's a pendulum. There's pure safety. There's online marketing. The best place is somewhere in between. And so that you're wise, but not locking yourself down totally. Your future is on the other side of your fear. You're afraid of getting attacked. You're afraid of being unsafe. You're afraid of losing your privacy. Your future's on the other side of that. You've got to figure out a way to get over it. Do it wisely, do it well, protect yourself, but still be out there. What's your thoughts? Put them in the comments. I'd love to see them. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.